Welcome to the Nerd Alternative. That was really loud. I'm so sorry. A sweet melting pot of all things nerdy. And today, we actually have a guest.
Yoo-hoo!
Yay!
We have one Regina from Anime Wild Black, from the Anime Wild Black podcast here. We will speak to her a little bit more in a bit, but we're just going to go through. Oh, and before that, we have other people here. I forget the normal peasants. we put Josh. Josh has gone. Josh has gone back in the cupboard, guys. He's gone back. He had his half an hour of playtime, but also with us. I don't know which one of you wanna.
It's Ram as usual.
Yeah, as usual.
It's Hassan. You're welcome.
I love it.
That's the energy I'm coming with today, guys.
I hear that. But we will speak about one bit of news before we get into the meat of our episode, which is an anime episode. We are talking about protagonists, what makes good ones and what makes bad ones. I hope to upset people. I honestly do.
We ran like a Twitter poll as well, and thank you guys for voting. By the way, it was super cool. But I just want to say, I knew it was going to be character development, and I know who the best boy is. I'm calling it already. Let's just go.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. We will see. But before then, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this news that I saw while perusing the net the other day. But Idris Elba, he's not even in talks. He's signed the paperwork now with Crunchyroll, isn't it? And he is producing this new anime. I don't think this is the final name, but let's call it the code name, called Dante. He's described it as a dark Afrofuturistic series set in a city where the gap has been widened between the haves and have-nots. Ram, I'll be honest, I was reading this and I thought you would possibly or possibly not appreciate it. I mean, are any of you guys excited for this at all?
It's just Elba Cyberpunk. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I mean, it's
Like,
cool.
I'm sold.
I saw Afrofuturism and that's all I need. I mean, I always check stuff out. Whether it goes like Canbusters or not we'll wait for...
Look, there's nothing wrong with
I'll
mediocrity.
I'll watch it when it comes out.
We didn't even finish Cannon Busters, did we? I saw that on Netflix the other day. I was like, oh yeah, that was a...
It shames me every time. It just like every time I bit of Netflix, it just looks me in the eye.
I mean, it's Idris Elba. Do you think it's going to be a good project?
I think that's where my because I feel like he likes to do a lot of stuff. You know, he likes
does everything. He does
do a lot, and I feel like sometimes that's not a great thing. But also, I think because it's like through his own company, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be that heavily involved. And even if he is, I'm sure it's fine. We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. Yeah, exactly.
He's acted, he's wrote, he's directed, right?
Yeah.
He DJs.
He's rapped.
Well.
Yeah, he raps.
For real. I was gonna say, if he's like, if he
It's
turns around
okay,
and
rap.
Is it okay?
Is it? Oh yeah, I was
He
about to
speaks
say.
rhythmically over tunes.
better than Vanilla Ice. It's great.
Very.
I feel like if you turn around and was like, I'm gonna give a go at surgery, we'd all be like, okay, we'll see what happens, right? Fine.
Well, maybe not on me personally, but yeah.
that guy.
I'd be curious to see how it pans off. And also, it's good to get more, of these more content that's like made or produced by, Black people, and not just outside of, let's say, webtoons or like small comics. It's nice. It's nice to see more things being put out on big platforms such as Crunchyroll. To be fair, so even if it's just Idris being Idris. He's like British Will Smith, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, he is.
For real.
Yes.
But I think he's a bit cooler. Like I think Will Smith, we kind of see through it at this stage.
Will Smith's a little corny.
He is.
Like, he started corny. Like that's people forget that. I'm like, he started corny straight up.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was very corny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
There
was.
was a lot of cheese. You could taste it in the air. You know what I mean?
But we'll move on from that, and I'll let you take the floor, Ram.
Okay.
This is
So we are
integral.
welcoming our guest, Regina. He is the host of Anime World Black podcast, which you can find on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify, and you can find it on iTunes/Apple Podcasts. And Regina, do you want to explain what your podcast is about? I feel a bit weird.
You were doing it so well. I was just like, yes, pump me up. But I have been a anime fanatic for many years, and I kind of was just kind of encouraged to start this podcast because when I start talking about anime with other people, they're just like, whoa, like just blown away, because my regular day job is I'm a wardrobe stylist, a photographer, like all of this stuff that deals with celebrity and red carpet and is like nowhere near nerdy at all. So there's like nerd Regina, and then there's like fashion model. I'm a mini Naomi Campbell in my head. Like in my head. So I get to, explore like my nerd side, like out in the open through my anime passion. And so I wanted to create a safe space, because I don't know if you guys have that over there, but like we have gatekeepers here, like people who are like, you can't like this. This is not something, and it's just like a kind of thing where I was like, no, like there's a lot of us. There's a lot of Black people who like anime and sci-fi and all that stuff. And it's kind of, because at first it was like a marginalized thing, and now that everyone's out of the like anime closet, it's just like, wow, like it's just out of the anime closet, like it's just like, even all the Marvel movies and stuff, like I grew up on Marvel. Black people fuel the Marvel engine, I feel like, more than anybody, not just Black Panther, but like all of Marvel. So like it kind of was a place for me to centralize that and allow other people to talk about it and dialogue without gatekeepers saying, no, you have to know every single episode and know what color shoes Hisoka had on, and like stupid shit. So yeah.
And then this is a question that we ask everyone who comes onto the podcast. What is your nerd origin story? So what was the kind of like the first thing that either made you claim the word nerd, or just the first thing that you kind of remember that got you into like nerdy stuff?
I grew up as a nerd. I started and so that now that nerdiness is kind of cool, I'm just like, you weren't part of my struggle. For one, glasses. I mean, I do have contacts, but I was like, I had these big square frames when I was in school. I read a lot of books. So my nerd origin story is the typical like outcast kid. I read a lot. I was awkward. I dressed awkward. I was super skinny, big hair, big glasses. So yeah. And like my mom loved comic books. My older brother, again, he was into like Bruce Lee. Kung Fu Matinee was like a staple in my house. And that's my nerd origin story. Kung Fu and sci-fi was like very, very present in my home. Cool. And I just grew up with it.
Good place to start, and it kind of just branches into everything nowadays as well.
Everything awesome. Nerdy.
I feel like that's kind of similar to us guys. Apart from the glasses, but anyway. Well.
What a bus.
Yeah, we need some fashion glasses, ma'am.
Look, there you go. These are my blue light filter glasses. So there.
Wow.
Cool. I guess we can get into the episode now.
I was gonna ask though. So you started reading, like you were into like comics first before?
Yes. Like I was definitely into Spider-Man. I started with, and then let's see, what was the first thing? So my older brother was a comic book collector. And unfortunately, I, as a small person wanting to read those comic books with sticky fingers, ruined many of his, if we were to have him here, he would like kick my laptop off of this counter right now but he definitely, I mean, and he's still like, he has milk carton cases of comic books that are like the original, first Spider-Man, first Spider-Man universe, Venom and X-Men and all of those. So I had access to it through my brother, although he did not want to share them with me. I was very invested in his collection. Yeah, I was definitely there with like a Nutty Buddy. It's like this chocolate and peanut butter candy. And I'm like, this is interesting. Storm is me, you know. So and then we had the X-Men animated series. I probably was like a preteen when that came out, and that was like when my mind was blown. Me and my cousins, we pretend in our backyard, this is so nerdy, that we were the X-Men, and we're like shooting imaginary like flames at each other, Gambit, and yeah. So definitely we were cosplaying. We had no idea we were cosplaying. So all of that. I started with comics. Probably as I got older, I got into Inuyasha. So that's like I wouldn't say that's my first anime, because I was definitely into Sailor Moon and Yu Yu Hakusho and all of that, Ninja Scroll, all of those things. But Inuyasha was when I was, OG anime. But I locked in with Inuyasha and it stuck with me for years. The manga, I'm going to get an Inuyasha tattoo in a couple of weeks. Like, I love anime and I love Inuyasha.
The characters and the writing was just like so ahead of its time as well. So
yes, it was very much so. Problematic and toxic, but still, it was immaculate anime.
No, but like it started conversations about like that toxicity as well. Like, and it kind of changed the way that writing approached certain characters, which I was like, golf claps.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not old school with my anime. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the oldest for me is probably Hunter x Hunter that I divulge in. Does that even count? I don't know. I'm Berserk. I'm reading Berserk at the moment.
That's old.
I'm putting it off for reasons.
I feel like at the same time as Inuyasha, there was like Ranma, one half.
Yeah, but the same creator. Creator.
That's wild. That is.
Yeah.
I've never read anything today.
What, Berserk and
no.
Ranma one half
and Ranma.
Oh, okay.
Ranma is very, very entertaining, but like sometimes you'll stop and you go, "Holy fuck!" Like,
yeah,
what the fuck am I reading?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, so let's jump into it. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes. We're talking about anime protagonists. I'm actually excited to fight for my people, or my person. But yeah, so this season of anime has been, for me personally, very entertaining. Regina, you're probably the most anime-centric person here. I don't know if Hassan wants to argue that or not. I think
I'm
me and Ram will concede.
I'm a bit of everything. I'm like kind of in one camp.
So it's nice to have a connoisseur with us. But me personally, this season, between One Piece, the whole Wano arc, we got, Kaizen, just everything about Kaizen. And I have to begrudgingly say, even Attack on Titan. Yes, I was an Attack on Titan hater.
I'm still a hater, but you can be a hater and also have, say that stuff is good. It's called a critic. I don't say I'm not a hater, I'm a critic.
You're a critic.
Nothing
you are
either just good or just bad. There's like good and bad and everything.
Exactly. So don't come for me, people.
Five
Titan fans.
99% bad, but that 1% is
that's a good description there. But yeah, so I thought we'd talk about the cornerstone of, well, some people would argue otherwise, but I'm going to say the cornerstone of anime, and that is the protagonist.
Yes.
I'm going to start by asking you guys, what do you prefer? Do you prefer good characters, a good lead character, or are you just into story, like kind of like Games of Thrones-y, like where it's all about the story, what's happening?
I've got beef with Game of Thrones already.
Yeah.
All right, pretend I never said Game of Thrones.
yeah.
Characters or story?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I much prefer a story that's worth the journey. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's characters that are going to make you enjoy the moments, but if the story itself is worth it, doesn't matter if the characters live or die. It's the story that you're here for. Good characters make it infinitely better, but if the story is lacking and you have good characters, it's like the most heartbreaking thing.
Yeah,
so you have to have a bit of both,
Are you done?
No, go for it.
Okay. I think I agree that, like, obviously both is good, but I think that, and I don't know whether this is because I just used to watch a lot of like weird indie drum type films, and I think those focus a lot more on like the character and also just being sorry, what? And also just being like a theater person as well. Like, it's not well, sometimes it is about the story, but it is very much like a character development thing. So I think for me, like I can really get into a really important character, and I think sometimes a character can kind of outlive its story in terms of like where they reside in your head. And so I think I do place a bit more emphasis on like an interesting character, because also an interesting character will bring me into a story that I don't really care about, or into subjects that I'm like, this is not really for me, but the character is so compelling that I stay. So I think character for me.
Regina?
I think I like how she defined it, because I feel like it's a little bit of both. You need the story to help the characters dynamic move along, and like you said, that theater dynamic, because I hate seeing, you know, a like poorly written story and it's just like you said, heartbreaking for the character. But I like to see the character. I like to see the character's development, the character arc. I feel like it's the character that helps progress the story, but it has to be a good story for the character to be able to move.
Yeah, I agree. I think the character arcs in themselves can be a story, and if there's nothing going on in regards to the world, sometimes you do look at like where this character starts and where they end. You know, the whole development in itself. So I'm saying I'd take characters over story.
Yeah, who they are introspectively.
Especially ensemble casts. You know, like One Piece. Love it.
Gintama is like a really good example of that. Like no one watches Gintama, and it really stresses me out because it's so good. But
look,
is there a new season coming out of
it's still going. Like the manga's still going.
Shame. Never mind.
I was gonna watch it the other day, and I ran away.
I was going to.
Yeah, no, like the core cast is phenomenally written. Like they're really like layered, and there's like so much in the comedy and like the drama of it. But there's like 1,000,001 like side characters, and they all have like their own unique flavor, and they have like this amazing kind of tapestry of things that they bring to the table, and like the running gags that if they're not there, like there's another running gag from this character. It's so well done, and it's like it's because it's like a gag manga as well. Like most of the time, it's not really about the story. So this is one of those ones where like the characters make the entire show. It's so good.
Yeah.
I want to check it out. I'll tell you what, I've started reading again anyway. But yeah, moving on. What would you think makes a good anime protagonist?
Character development. Character development,
Yes.
goddammit.
Character development.
That is,
Yeah.
I think that someone who is, I know that anime is not meant to be realistic, and we're not looking at it to be realistic, but I do think that there has to be some kind of grounding in a character. I find it really boring and frustrating when you have a character that's just a little bit like unbelievable. I can't think of an example right now, but someone who's just so one note, because I think that
I can.
I mean, yeah, I can think of bad examples, but I don't want to put them out there yet because we're going to talk about that later. But I think someone who just doesn't really, and that does come into character development, but someone who has almost like unrealistic, I don't want to say ideals, because again, like anime is like an exaggerated version, but like
Deku, you're describing Deku.
Yeah, shut up.
You know?
Yeah, like I think that there has to be a level of like you don't always have to directly relate to a character, but you do need to see like the human in them. Otherwise, why are you watching this?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and burn some bridges. All of My Hero Academia, except for like 3 characters, they're just one note. They're all one note.
Yeah, they are.
Good notes.
Yeah, they're just props to Deku's story. Yeah,
it's not a
barely
good story either.
And it's and in comparison to like One Piece, where of course everyone is props to Luffy's story, but it's just like you said, it's the tapestry of it where they're all like, they all have like some flavors, something that they bring to it, so that it's just like, oh wow, like you kind of connect with everybody else, even the villains and everything, and just like the ensemble together, it like the characters really move the One Piece story versus like My Hero Academia is kind of just like, oh, okay, all right,
that person,
yeah, that person, the weird lame quirks that they give people, you know, like I can turn warm water to cold water, you know, just generic shit. Like I can make French fries come out of my pocket. Oh, okay, that's useful.
Okay, hold
on.
Just random. That would be my best friend. That's not like, that's a good quote.
Um, I also think there's someone who like they have to be able to carry the series, and I can't quite articulate what that quality is, but like you need to be compelled by them enough to want to like finish the journey that they're on, even if they don't like stay the same. Because again, otherwise, why am I still watching this?
It's just them being compelling.
Yeah.
And even like using Berserk as an example, I'm still in Golden Age arc, by the way, guys. So but just seeing, I know Hassan, I know volume 13, I know. But like someone like Guts who doesn't really actually have like any goal or like
He has one
purpose.
goal, and it is vengeance.
but like he's still kind of compelling at the same time, like just trying to understand what might be beneath the surface of like his exterior, his relationship with like Griffith and Casca and things like that, and even down to like the Band of the Hawk, who they have no dreams or anything, but they kind of serve their purpose in the way they're like there for Griffith, as opposed to them just being there, being like that guy's the happy one, that guy is the sad one. They kind of all are fleshed out, and they all kind of, they just feel more like relatable, almost like, you know, like people.
Yeah, I guess like kind of touching on that, I feel like they have to be able to bring the world that they inhabit alive. Especially like we already talked about My Hero a bit, but it's like the world falls so flat because Deku's a bit flat himself. And there's like so much potential for the world to be bigger than it is, but because he's not a great, like it just kind of
It's like if anything happens, Deku will eventually win. Like
he's the what the hell guy. When everything happens around him, he's like, what the hell? He just reacts to everything, and you know. What I personally like, that we haven't talked about surprisingly, is good character design. I think especially in anime, characters can look cool, but it doesn't actually mean anything, if that makes sense. Like
One Piece is a good example of that. There's so many like cool characters that are just nothing. Like they're absolutely nothing, and it's great.
So one, I think this is just me maybe being a bit nitpicky, but what I do like is like what's good signifier. So like a design with a purpose. If a character's wearing a pirate hat, I want to think he's a pirate and not think he's wearing a pirate hat, if that makes sense. Like a design that means something, hair that means something, with a scar that means something that
anime hair doesn't mean anything, man. It is what it is, dude.
It's exactly.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does. Yeah.
Especially like, you know,
like Boba. I think that's
no. It does. It's like in K-pop where you have like a guy who has his hair down and a guy who has his hair up. It's two different people. Like it's the same in shoujo. If his hair's down and then it goes up, oh my god.
Yes. Or if their eyes are closed and then their eyes open later.
Exactly.
Like so shit's about to go down. Like so hair does mean something. Like the design, and like I feel like those things are there for like anime fans. Like we know, like if it's a character with their hair up or like in the ponytail, like it kind of alludes to them being like a badass. Like hair up plus headband. Oh, okay, this is like, you know, a berserker fighter, athletic, you know, like it starts adding things to it of expectations, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's certain tropes that are kind of established through the design choices.
Yeah, exactly that. And I was watching a Super Eye Patch video actually, and he gave an example of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think it was from,
he was talking in JoJo's is so good,
but he was just like breaking down, like I think it's from part 3 or something, like breaking down the guy's like uniform, like and what each thing represents that you might not think of immediately, but just down to like him having his blazer and it's open and its relation to like the delinquent culture in Japan in the 80s and things like that. Like I really appreciate when you can look at a character and be like, what they're wearing is not just because that the designer really likes belt buckles. I'm looking at the Final Fantasy creator, but so they have belts and zips everywhere and just for aesthetic reasons. But yeah, And also, I think we've already said this, but character growth, character development, characters shouldn't be where they were at the beginning and at the end, unless there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again, Levi, because people don't know this, and this needs to be said more.
When we get to worst anime protagonists, can you repeat what you just said?
Yeah.
I'll repeat it many times. Characters should progress. They should.
Yes.
Can I make one quick tangent, like while we're on the subject of JoJo?
Yeah, go for it.
Because
Yeah.
the guy who does the art is like, and the writer, they're like so into fashion, and they have like such a deep understanding of fashion. The way
For
they
who? For what? Sorry.
Jojo.
Oh, Jojo.
Jojo.
Yes, yes.
So like the way they build
Yes.
like the outfits and they build the stands and that kind of stuff, like it's fascinating. I'm like, I have no idea about fashion. I wear like 3 outfits in several shades of colors. That's it, right? But, like the way that they convey this to even someone as like illiterate as me is like endlessly fascinating, and it makes you want to know more. Like generally, just from an art angle, read JoJo.
Oh,
So
listen, even on an even more tangent, right? I've
you
just
said we
finished.
wouldn't.
It's fine. We're good for time.
Yeah.
I just finished Sandman the other day,
Oh,
and
it's so good. It's so good.
but it's so dense. Sandman is
Mm.
a comic, Regina. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a old DC comic by Neil Gaiman. We love Neil Gaiman over here.
Oh, okay. Okay, I've heard of it. I haven't read it yet.
It's
Get Sandman. It is amazing.
it's very dense though, but the way the character design in that, for example, it's almost like every time you see a new character, you just be staring at them for ages, like and the way the artists, I don't know whether he picked them or what, but even down to the way the art is drawn, it's like it's very stylized. It's amazing. Amazing series. But it's
I'm
a
gonna
lot,
add
man.
it to Amazon now. I'm gonna follow it. I'm gonna
Listen
buy
to the
it now.
audiobook. I've heard the audiobook's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Neil Gaiman audio things, I don't know whether he personally has a hand in them, but they're always like really good. Like the casting is always like a stellar cast. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But anyway.
His writing is stellar. Like I
Yeah.
not to go on a tangent, but like I
We're
love
here now.
everything. Almost everything that I've read by Neil Gaiman has been amazing.
I've
Like,
never read a bad one yet.
wow. Yeah, me either. Not at all. And even like his the series American Gods was like super captivating. Like, wow. Like I would like to even see that converted into an animated series. Like to just see them explore more visually. Yeah, it was just it was really well written. Tangent over.
We will always make tangents for Neil Gaiman.
Mate, we can't help
Yes.
ourselves at this point. It's just like, Neil, please hire us. We'll just be your fans. Like, just be my fans.
Be the PR.
I was gonna say one last thing that I feel like we didn't say is just like being unique as an anime protagonist. Obviously, you have like archetypes and stuff, but you want to have something that makes them stand out.
There's the strong boy, there's the cool boy, there's the detective boy, there's all the boys. It's just,
all the boys.
Yes.
Mineta, the pervy boy as well.
Yeah.
You don't need
Can
that.
we stop Mineta?
Moroku.
Stop those guys. Stop them. But yes, I have a question. Do you think that like there's any kind of protagonist tropes that are exclusive to anime as opposed to just
Determination.
the power of friendship?
Ridiculous determination. I've never seen
Ridiculous determination is definitely an anime trope.
And like I think it's like not even ambition, it's actually determination. Like
yes.
Yeah.
It's
just
actually
I'm gonna stare at you
determination.
until I win.
Yeah. You're right though, Ram, because like if you look at every male protagonist, like you said, like Deku, if we're looking at Gon from Hunter x Hunter, we're looking at Inuyasha, it's like, I don't care, I'm going to do this, like their bodies are ripped to shreds and then they're still standing there like, I'm gonna beat you. And it's like, your lungs and your kidneys are laying on the ground next to you. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do, but magically, you know, like it's the
like
determination.
Like a brush, you're like,
yeah, just sweep it along. Yeah, no, I
determination.
That's what I had in my mind. I don't know if there's anything else though.
I think the power of
the
friendship, like
the child professional. That's a weird ass
that is
trope
weird.
in
Professional.
it's like
Yeah.
child detective, child chef, child this, that. I'm like, leave the children alone. They shouldn't be working. Give them like 10 years. Like
No, it's
what's going on?
I started reading World Trigger again, and I'm like, why is all of your armed forces like 19 and under? I don't understand why you're all teenagers. Just
at least like Neon Genesis Evangelion, the one thing they explained is they had to be kids. The one thing they explained, but even then I'm like, they don't have to be kids.
Yeah. And I feel like I forget his name now, but he was fucked up.
Yeah.
He wasn't taking it well.
Yeah, like
he wasn't
that
classic
was one of the
anime
best
happiness.
things about like Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's like where all of those ones were like, oh, we're gonna get to war as children. This one was like, no, PTSD is a real thing.
Yeah.
And like it has real ramifications and like the damages will last you a lifetime. And I'm like, oh damn, this is in a shonen like series. Bravo. Excellent writing. Excellent writing.
Yeah.
Neon Genesis is like the OG sad boy anime, I tell you.
It is.
It's proper like crying at nighttime.
I'm gonna wear my hair over this eye.
Yes.
I can at this point as well, which is the great part. I can just like flick it.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. I decided last minute that we're gonna play a little game. We have a show over here, Regina. I don't know if you have anything similar called Room 101, right?
Okay.
Where these celebrities go on the show. They will all kind of pick this one thing that they hate, and they will try and pitch it to the host of the show why they hate it so much, and then the host kind of picks what is the most annoying thing. So we're gonna do something similar to that. We're gonna do
thing, right? What does that say about the British that this is the height
entertainment
of our comedy, where we're like, hey guys, what's all that thing you hate? Let's talk about the thing we hate.
I hate that too.
I hate.
I hate that too. I hate that one more than that one. That's basically the show. You do learn some interesting things on the show, to be fair.
To hate.
But we got some positive. We're gonna do best anime protagonist, and we're gonna do worst. Now, the way I figured to try and add a bit of spice, I mean, you might not even need the time, but I thought let's keep it at 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. You might not need 2 minutes. I feel like for my worst protagonist, I need like 10 seconds. But you pitch it, we'll all vote, and then we will decide definitively for the whole of the anime community across the whole world, which is the best anime.
We make that decision for the entire community.
Yes, we make that decision.
History
You're
being
all
made.
welcome.
Black History Month. We decide.
Exactly that. So we're gonna go. I mean, do you guys want to start with best or worst? Actually, now I'm just thinking about it.
Let's start with worst and then get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And positively.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the worst. I'm gonna get a timer up, and then someone's gonna have to time me. Does anyone want to volunteer to throw their character under the bus first?
I've been struggling, so I go. Someone else go first.
Okay,
please.
I have two. But
You have two.
Ooh.
yeah, but like now I don't know. I mean, one of them we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And the other one we mentioned. The other one we mentioned earlier too. So now I'm like, which one do I pick?
Pick if you want to double vote. If someone's picked yours, if you want, you can just throw it in a pot and just like double vote.
Deku.
So they're more likely to. Everyone just pick Deku.
Okay, no. If everyone's picked Deku, then
I did not pick Deku.
Okay,
I agree with Deku.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna say Eren Yeager then, since we have two Dekus in the pot, because Eren doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry, everyone. Like he just doesn't. I think that he's a stunted character, to be honest. And I think that there's like moments where they had a chance to do something with him. Like I think kind of when he went through his like, I'm not gonna call it a sad boy phase, because I do feel like it was him expressing like his PTSD and his trauma and stuff. But I just think that they never quite get there. And I do think a big part of the problem is that Attack on Titan is such a story heavy show, and it's such a plot heavy show that it's kind of hard to create a character that could carry that show on its own, because it's such a big world and there's so many like secrets and stuff. But I think that he's boring. He's boring to me. I feel like he doesn't really grow that much. And I think the fact that Mikasa and Armin are not that compelling as well makes it even worse. That
Oh my days.
He just seems whiny for a very long time. And even now in the recent season, he just feels a bit like subdued. I feel like things happen to him and he is able to do more things, but I don't really see growth in terms of like his actual character. Like, yeah, cool, he can fight. He's like picking up all these techniques. But yeah, I don't know. He's just a bit stunted to me personally.
I've got a working theory, and you guys can corroborate because you have more information than me. He's a faceless protagonist in an RPG, but he's a character in an anime instead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can kind of
Like,
see
you know
that.
when you build a character and you're like, oh
Mm.
man, I'm gonna go into the world, I'm gonna find the secrets, it's gonna be cool, then I'm gonna learn these skills, and it's gonna be cool. But you don't have a face, you don't have really a body or anything, you're just in the story. But now you're the main character of an anime and you're watching it happen in real time. That's what I get from Attack on Titan.
You got 20 seconds, Ram. Is there anything you want to add? Are you good?
I feel like that's mostly it. I think also the fact that he's in a seinen and not a shonen is he feels like a shonen character in a seinen world, and I don't think that those two things gel. Like he could be more of a mature character considering the world that he
Okay, your time's up. Stop talking.
Eh.
I mean, I think, to be honest, I think you put your point across. I think I as much as I said this season of Titans picking up, I still hate Eren. It's been like 7 episodes now. He's said about 10 words. I feel like it's just like I'm angry and sad. Foretold. Where's Reina? Haha, he's dead. But yeah. So Regina, did you say
I'm not gonna die about any spoilers? It's okay. I'm okay.
I might have accidentally spoiled it for myself the other day.
I'm still gonna watch it.
I definitely did because my brother told me some stuff and I was like, yeah. But
is it what I saw?
So, like nothing matters anymore.
Yeah, but in more detail. I won't.
That might be interesting. Okay. Regina, was Eren your worst character as well?
I feel like, and I can't remember his name and I tried to Google it really quickly, but the kid on Black Butler, like I'm more connected with Sebastian than I am with the little kid who's the main protagonist. Like, I just feel like he's just spoiled. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm starting the timer. Go on.
Okay. But like, he's just a spoiled little brat. He's like a nobility. He's like, he has his moments where it's like, if he feels vulnerable, he snaps into this, you should be treating me special because I'm a lord. And that's like, it continues all the way through the season. And it's like, when it ends, it's still that same, like this pompous attitude. He really didn't learn or develop anything. Like, it's just, okay, I have this like really sad backstory. My family was killed. I have a magical eye and I control this demon butler. But what the demon butler does is like amazing. Like, it's just like, and you follow the mystery and this kid's trying to solve, like, again, the employed child, that's doing the work for the queen and stuff. Honestly, I love the series, but yeah, like all these kids have jobs. We need to get with it. But
that's not what we're saying. Like,
is Black Butler finished?
Not the manga. Is it finished too? I don't know. I'll have to check. I know for us on TV, like they finally gave us another season of it, like on Netflix and Hulu, but I don't know.
Do you think it's possible that this spoiled brat could maybe one day turn his life around and become likable? You don't
at all.
You don't think so
at all. Literally his trajectory is, I think he's so morose because he knows ultimately he's going to die, and that's why how his butler serves him is his butler is like, they made a deal where the butler gets to eat his soul. So it's kind of like, why does this matter? Like, and so the butler also protects him as a bodyguard in that no one's going to get to kill him because it's going to be me because I'm going to eat your soul. So I guess, it's kind of hard to be a happy kid and develop and grow when your trajectory is death. So
time's up. Do you know what that just reminded me of? Anime that I totally forgot that I watched. I don't want to say Toriko. Which one's Toriko? Is that the blue head guy?
No,
the food one, yeah. Not that one. Is it Ushio di Torio or something like that? With the boy with the spear. He has a spear and there's a beast. Yeah, that one.
I haven't heard of that one.
I totally forgot I ever watched. It's fun. It's fine.
It can't be that fun if you forgot about it.
No, because I was thinking of like animes where sometimes there's a protag and then there's like the kind of like a
So-
assist character that you prefer
Yeah.
more, kind of thing, and that can be kind of jarring sometimes.
Mm.
Like
Dude,
Levi from
Pokemon.
Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
and then you deep
Mhm.
why you like Levi, and it's like it's just that he can spin. He spins in the air. Well, you know, like he's cool and
And
stuff.
he's a clean man. He likes to clean. That's why I like him.
Not a waste man.
Hassan,
Well,
are you gonna throw out another?
Yeah, fuck you, Deku. That's the hell I'm dying for that. I didn't really have like a huge stick out, like kind of the worst protagonist of all time, because usually it's not a single protagonist, it's a trope that kind of bothers me. But Deku is guilty of several bad tropes that don't really have anything redeeming in the show that gives me hope that the character is ever going to get better. He's a Mary Sue. He's always going to win. There's no real kind of worry or fear that anything's really going to happen to him.
Mm.
Even though the world is like so big and there's so much danger and anything else, I'm not invested anymore. The anime really like gets away with a lot because of how much the music does the emotional heavy lifting. They also have
does.
like, yeah, it really does, right? There's so many like there's so many moments of character development that they just go, we're not gonna do it. We're gonna acknowledge that it's there, but we're not gonna do it, and that really bothers me, like deeply bothers me. And like as the show goes on, and you see the characters around him become more interesting, it really shows how like 2D Deku is as a character. Throw him in the bin.
Personally, I
I-
think Kurashima should be the main character because
Or Miryu, like Miryu.
Yeah,
would have been
of course,
an
yeah.
amazing protagonist.
Oh,
like, an
listen,
amazing
I said this
protagonist.
to Ram. I would have rather have had an anime story about Mirio.
Absolutely.
It's more. It's his
Even
his,
him now losing his powers, the redemption arc from there would be an amazing series,
Mhm.
right?
much
What
better.
we do
Yeah,
with Deku
yeah.
is just, oh, my powers are so strong. I hurt myself.
I mean, when
Oh.
you get to where I'm at in the manga, I
Ooh,
don't know
that's
why
not
I'm
good.
still reading.
I mean, I've
Right.
collected 24. I'm just looking at the volumes on my shelf now, thinking I have to carry on. I have to.
Mm.
No, you do have to carry on.
I-
No,
like-
there are still bits in there that are interesting, but it's not Deku.
Yeah, I was gonna
Deku's
say,
not
like,
worth
I don't want to come across like sounding like I don't enjoy the show. I enjoy the show. The show is fun. That's all it is, though. It's not a show that in like 10 years I'm gonna be like, oh my god, everyone has to watch.
Time's
You know
up,
what I mean?
time's up, time's up. But I totally agree.
It's your turn, Levi. I
There's
shall get
there's
this
some
one.
strong, Timey. There's some strong picks, you know. Two of my top, but I've got another one. I've got a hot take. Maybe a hot take. I don't actually know. This is not a hot take. I think this is a. Right, you ready, Ram? Yeah.
Spicy.
Wait, did we say 2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yes.
It's fine. I won't need 2 minutes. I don't think.
Okay,
It's
go.
like, start stretching. It's like
Sword Art Online. Kirito, Sword Art Online. He's trash. He's the most boring character. He's the most blandest looking character. He has no personality. And also his personality doesn't even make sense because he's supposed to be a shut-in that plays games all day, but every woman that he meets falls in love with him. He's basically he's a Mary Sue, or as apparently they say, Gary Stews. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but like
We need
he's
to say
just
that
a
more. We need to
broken
say that more.
character. He just, you know, I don't know if you guys have watched it.
I've seen it. It's bad.
He's
It's
so
bad.
you know, originally he's broken. He does the
Yeah.
dual wield thing. Where does that come from? Who knows? He dies in a game that if you die, you die, but he doesn't die. He cheats. He somehow cheats. That
The
anime
admin privileges.
he had admin privileges in an anime about in an isekai.
Yeah.
it was so trash. His supporting characters were so trash. They were just like, we love Kirito, we love him so much. Every
For
single
what?
woman he met.
He's not even good
Yeah.
to them either. He's not
He
even good
is,
to them.
Yeah.
oh my God. And there's zero character development. It's just like, what online game am I about to jump in and just kill everyone in next? Like, he's always the best in everything, in every game he does. It was just so craptastic. And I had such high hopes when I watched episode 1. Craptastic. Kirito, I actually think he's worse than Eren. He's worse. He's literally, he is the faceless RPG protagonist.
Yeah.
Best
Pack up the
Kirito.
show.
Yeah,
'cause
he
we won.
is.
Like
Yeah, he
we're
is.
done. I think that's it. I think that's it, guys.
Mhm.
Trash. We
Okay,
found
cool.
the worst.
I'm changing my vote to Kirito. And
Mhm.
I love Sword Art Online, which is tragic, but yeah, it is Kirito.
Oh, Levi, you
Yeah.
went silent for a second.
Oh no, I didn't. Who am I voting for?
He's
I'm
just
gonna
basking in his
Aaron
his
or
win.
I'm gonna say
He's
I'm
like,
gonna
I
say-
did it.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna vote Deku because I feel like with Titan, they kind of tried.
Yeah, they did kind of try. Oh god. I mean, I haven't watched Sword Art Online, so I feel like I can't really vote for that. I'm
Trust
gonna
me, you should. You should.
He is
Kyoto's-
bland.
He's
He's bland. Even his like when his avatar, it's like it's literally him still,
yeah,
like with a
Oh my-
jacket.
Just a bit.
There was like the old man that turned into the young man that turned into the old man, like his real life persona. No, Kyoto
Yes.
is the same.
He's the same.
He had
Just a
20
little
years.
bit of different hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash.
That's it.
I will.
Trash.
Okay, I guess I'll vote for Sword Art Online only because I feel like My Hero is not done, and maybe by some miracle, there might be a time skip, and something might happen. Character development might finally happen.
We need more time skips.
PBE.
There's hope.
His hormones won't level out. He might
Yeah.
get a personality.
He
maybe,
might kill someone, and it changes him forever.
And changes
Well,
his art.
Like, do you remember like the episode where I was saying that,
Yeah.
that needs to happen? That would be an amazing moment of character growth where he like actually uses his strength, hits someone, and they die, and then he's like, "Oh my god!" Now
It
I need
needs to
take
be an accident
responsibility.
so he can be like
Yeah.
feel very tragically guilty. He needs
Mhm.
to accidentally kill an innocent.
Oh, he needs to
Yeah.
kill Mineta. He needs
is
to
so
kill
bad.
Mineta.
Oh, that can
Kill
happen.
Mineta.
We won't miss him. We won't miss
Then it
him.
would be an A-tier show. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we'll
Alright.
see. There's some stuff happening in the manga right now, so
We'll see. All right, so I'll be voting Kirito. We putting him
Yeah.
in room 101.
Yeah.
I wish I had
Yeah.
the thing in my bob.
The-
Okay, he can go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're pitching the best.
don't know.
I don't even think I'm gonna do my character justice. You know, I thought
Me
about it,
neither.
Me either.
but
We'll try.
I'm here.
We will
I'm
try.
ready. I'm ready, guys.
all right, Hassan, do you wanna kick it off then?
Okay. The best anime protagonist for me is Edward Elric.
Okay.
This is really good because I decided to swap my choice. He was gonna be my honorable, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go the other way.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the best anime protagonist because he's the most adaptable, the most willing to change, the one who doesn't lean on negative and toxic stereotypes. He understands that there's selfish things about him, and he tries to fix the flaws that are evident in his nature. Amazing writing, and the way that the growth and change that goes through the show, like his character arc of him trying to take responsibility. That's the whole show. He's trying to take
Yeah.
responsibility for his actions. And then he realizes the thing that can get him and his brother back to his body will cost lives, millions of lives. And he goes, I can't do that. And goes out of his way to destroy the hope he thinks that's the only hope of him getting his body back. I'm like, that's fucking amazing. That is a good protagonist. Best boy.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I
You still
see
got
the
a minute.
flaw.
You still got a minute.
Also, kick-ass hair, amazing kung fu, amazing powers, some
And
of the
he's
best side
funny.
characters. Yeah, he's hilarious. Like he's so funny. Like anytime anyone mentions his like shortness,
He's high.
the way
yeah.
like he escalates is like, oh my god, like, it's so good. And it's like he feels like such a normal, relatable human being in unbelievable and horrible circumstances, and that's good writing.
Yeah, I agree.
I
He
agree.
has got really good character design. I do like when animes don't like do too much. I mean, I
Wait,
do
Levi,
like
you gotta hand it to him.
oh god, that is so mean.
I like puns.
Hassan is a pun king.
He really
Um,
puts his best foot forward.
Oh my days. Him alone. But I like when the character. I like when anime kind of like adds like a historic kind of tinge on the designs, like
Yeah,
Vinland Saga, for
Mhm.
example.
Mhm.
Like it's yeah. But yeah,
No.
your time's up by the way. Anybody want to go next?
I mean, Hassan did so brilliantly with his explanation. I don't know if I could do my character justice, but I guess I'll just, instead of making like beautiful key points, I'm just gonna fangirl it.
Oh my God.
love.
Don't
I
say
love
someone
him-
from Haikyuu.
No,
I was
ew.
gonna say-
Shoyo is
Oh.
a great boy. Like,
He's
that's
my
not the
honorable
line in
mention.
Haikyuu.
Okay.
I mean,
so-
I like Haikyuu, but I wouldn't say any of those are my best protagonists because I'm just like, he falls into those tropes. It's like the extreme determination, and then he's got cool hair and like No.
Yeah,
My but Yumiko Jabami on Kakegurui. I love this. Like the show was really a different. Let me just even give that breakdown. Have y'all seen
Is
Kakegurui?
this the gambling one?
Yes.
Okay.
So for
Yeah, I
me,
know
that
that
was a very, very new dynamic because we've watched, the RPG, we've watched all of these different types of, and I was just like, the concept was really cool. You have this mystery character. Well, they have that a lot, but she comes to this school and you're thinking, okay, she's just there because she's obsessed with gambling and she wants to turn the tables, but she actually is kind of disturbing this little social system that they have at the school. And she has the reason for it. She is out for revenge. I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody, but I'm going to spoil it because you need to know. She has a sister who was taken down by these people with the gambling. And so finding that out, I'm like, oh, and not only that, a lot of the key people who are in control, she's taking down her family. They are all the Momobami tribe, Momobami clan, her family was disowned. And like, it's just all of these dynamics. But in the first season, you don't get it. You just get like, crazy girl who gets super turned on by gambling, is really good at games. She plays,
that was
yeah. But I mean, like, she does have a character dynamic. She cares about her friends. She kind of, in some ways too, like when she goes after like the money to like help, old buddy, he's just there as her little dog. But I really like her character arc. I feel like there's going to be more coming from it. It's no longer just senseless kind of anime, and she's not like a typical anime girl. Like she's not annoying, she's not weak and helpless, she's very empowered, she knows what she's doing, and she's so dead focused on destroying this social system at this school to any end. So she's almost taking, sorry about Siri, she's almost to the point of like a masculine anime character and feeling those tropes of like extreme determination. She is allowed to lose. She loses too. She's lost before, and she kind of takes
up. Your time's up.
She's awesome.
Go on, finish that point. Finish that point because I started timing that so late.
Okay, well, but like when she loses, she takes that time to reflect. She doesn't like kind of like pout about it. She's just like, oh, okay. So like almost like exploratory, like what happens if I lose? Okay, now I want to win. Like, like, so it's just, she has a lot of dynamic to her that I think people should kind of get into. So
definitely gonna check that out.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That was a very good explanation.
Go on, Ram, do you wanna?
I am gonna do my honorable shout outs. It was obviously gonna be Edward and also Hinata from Haikyuu, but
Spike Spiegel.
I chose...
Can I throw that quick kind of honorable mention? Spike Spiegel is one of the best anime protagonists, hands down.
Yes.
Cowboy Bebop is chef kiss, maybe one of the best anime of all time.
Yes.
And Haikyuu has more, but I only didn't pick that because it hasn't finished yet. But I think the way that his character development is going along is excellent compared to other people.
His character development is short.
It's not just short, no, but I feel like he has little moments where he learns things and he doesn't go from 0 to 100. And I think that the way that they use his natural ability isn't in a way like, for example, in Naruto, where it's never a crutch. Like he always knows that that's not enough. And I think that's really interesting about him.
All right, Ram, I'm about to start in 2 minutes.
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this. But I picked Light because
my face, I'm sorry.
I picked Light.
I quit.
This call is terminated.
I thought about this for a long time, and I think for me, a good protagonist is someone who carries you through the show and is compelling, like I said. And that doesn't mean that you have to like them. And everyone knows that I hate Light, but I think that he's a really well-written character. I think that I like this. An intelligent character who they don't just tell us he's intelligent, they give us so many opportunities to show us that he's intelligent, and it's well displayed, and it never gets boring. Like I said, intelligence is kind of like his power, but it's so dynamic. It doesn't stay the same at the beginning of the series all the way to the end. You see the way that he rises to new challenges. I think the restriction of the Death Note is something also that makes him an excellent character, because it means that he has always got kind of like this external and internal fight kind of going on, if that makes sense, and seeing him come up with new ways of using this thing that could have again turned into a bit of a like a deus ex machina in an interesting way is really cool. I like the fact that parts of him are unknowable. He kind of keeps you on his toes. It's hard to read Light. You don't know what he's going to do next because he's crazy as hell.
Yes.
I think that's like something that we don't really get very much in the character. Like when you think about Light, I think you have his iconic things that you know about him, but at the same time there's a little bit of mystery, which makes
the nails
very real.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he has flaws that are quite realistic to his story, like his god complex. I think it would have been easy to kind of ignore that, but the way that they build on that slowly, like and also how they plant that.
Time's up. Finish your points. Finish your points.
I have so much more to say. The way that they plant that seed in the beginning, and the fact that he thinks that he can be a voice of justice in the first place and that he has the right to do that, and the way that that slowly morphs and turns into him turning evil is really interesting. And he has a great not villain, but like he has a great rival dynamic. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah,
I had more to say, but I guess.
Can I ask her a question? I know her time is up, but do you think, like, upon analyzing Light, do you think that his intelligence is kind of like his weakness as well? Because it's the catalyst to his godlike complex. And at the same time, like, when he's kind of plotting and he's thinking these steps ahead and he's doing all these things, it's because he feels like he's superior because of his intelligence. And where's the question here? Well, I feel like I lost my question.
I think it's his arrogance that really makes him.
It is his arrogance.
Because you can be intelligent and be humble, and actually, I feel like part of his judgmental, like his god complex, probably might come from a lack of intelligence almost. Because to be truly like wise and stuff, I'm not trying to be philosophical, but it's to understand the nature of man, and there's that.
But then
there's a sociopathic thing where he just doesn't understand other people.
I think that's what it is as well, and the fact that he's like being intelligent to him became boring, and when he finally got the Death Note, he was able to flex in ways that he couldn't before. Like he was the best in the whole country. Like, what do you do after that? Like, he hadn't. I think
the world.
He was like he's like Saitama. If Saitama goes evil, like he's just reached his peak, and it's like, what do you do after that? You kill people.
I feel like the show really explores, the whole power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Like it's like a extrapolation of that quote, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
All right, Ram, throw the timer up. Let me get mine out the way now. I feel like Light's a good pick. Saitama's a good honorable mention, actually.
He's amazing. He's so
between Saitama and Mob, both of them. Like what they both.
Mob is the best.
I didn't say Mob.
I was gonna say Mob is a better character.
You didn't say. I cycled. Like, do you know how many people I cycled? I was gonna go with Naruto. I was going with so many characters. But all right, I'm gonna go with.
You pick Naruto.
We spoke. This might be a hot take. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We spoke about the OG Sad Boy anime, Neon Genesis, but I want to talk about a more recent one, Tokyo Ghoul. Now,
yes,
I disagree with your choice, but I love the anime.
I do think why I like him so much is very personal to me. Firstly, he is so far from basic. Like he's like one of the most complicated characters that I've ever come across, not even just in anime, just in general. And for a lot of similar reasons to what you're saying, Regina, about Yumeko. So like firstly, I love the themes that he represents throughout the series, whether that's like his brief insanity, his denial, his self-pity. And I love the fact that his personalities kind of represent like his responses to like certain trauma that he's gone through. And I like how the personalities are so kind of fleshed out, also he doesn't, I don't know if you've read or watched all of it, but he's someone that doesn't win. He loses quite a lot, and sometimes he makes bad decisions, but I feel like a lot of the times what he does, even if you disagree, it's a thing of where if you put yourself in his shoes, you can kind of be like, if I was that age and this thing happened to me, then maybe that time I might think that that's the right thing to do. And even Kaneki himself
to me today. I don't
Pardon?
know how I'd be anything different.
Listen, what I love is towards the end, he even kind of looks back and says, like, maybe that was the wrong thing. Maybe I said I wanted to do that, but really I wanted to do that. And there's a lot of retrospect and just self-reflection that I think Kaneki has that's just so fascinating, like to the point where even when the manga was just going a bit like, what is happening, I'm still just I want to know my baby Kaneki safe.
I was like exactly 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I cut
that.
off my last point. Kaneki is so great, but yes. Anyways,
Yeah, I like
Sometimes
that.
he bites off more than he can chew.
But that's a very humanistic quality of someone at that age and why he's so complex. He's very
And cannibals.
true to. Yeah. There's those
Yeah.
puns. Very
Thank
punny.
you. Thank you.
okay. So, who are we gonna vote for? I'm gonna.
That's quite tough, you know. I'm quite.
Yeah.
I actually want to
Very
vote.
good points were made.
I'm gonna vote Yumeko off of the basis that a lot of the points you made were quite similar to what I liked about Kaneki, and because I can't vote for mine, I'm voting Yumeko.
Okay, then I'll vote for Kaneki.
Oh my god, what is this? Tactical.
This is some Eurovision songbook bullshit.
Well, I was gonna vote Edward because he is my honorable mention anyway.
I'm gonna vote for Ram's character.
Are we playing that game?
Yeah, we are.
So basically, no one wins.
No,
Yeah.
we all win. We all win, guys.
We all win.
We all
No, I
win.
feel like we have to have a different. Okay, everyone
All right,
rank. No,
We have to-
everyone rank them out of
Oh, yeah.
except your own top 3, and then we'll rank it that way.
Okay.
Oh yes. Just number them 1, 2, or 3, and then we'll add up the numbers, and then. Okay. The thing is, with Edward, I really do like him, but if I'm looking at the complexity of Light and Yumeko, I'm like, can I really vote for Edward? That I feel like I'll be biased a little bit. Like if I decided to pitch Naruto, I would be hella biased. All right, I'm done anyways.
Okay, so
All right.
I have a confession before you guys say that.
okay.
I was gonna put Edward as my worst.
Oh,
A whole,
You
I
can.
really, and so I really,
Ugh.
but yeah.
You're
So
gonna kill me when we
let's
first met.
add a
What's
little
wrong with you?
drama there. I really was, and then I
Um,
redirected, and I'm so glad I did. But we'll have to do another episode and come back
Yeah, for
and
real,
where
for
I
real.
talk about why I don't like Edward. But okay.
I'm interested in that one.
Yeah.
Okay, Regina, go on. Give me your order.
Kaneki, Yumiko, Light, Edward. Sorry.
Okay,
man.
hold on a second.
Wait, we're not voting for her.
Wait, you can't.
No, don't.
have
Sorry,
it.
don't do your own. Yeah. So Kaneki.
Oh, okay. So Kaneki, Light,
Light.
Edward.
Edward.
All right.
Mhm.
Ram.
I think mine's Edward, Yumiko, and then Kaneki.
Hassan.
I'm Yumiko. Tokyo Cool Boy. I've forgotten his name.
I put
Kaneki.
Light
Yeah,
last.
Kaneki. And no, Light can go in the bin. Fuck him.
No, he's a good character. I don't
He
like
is. He's
him.
a very good character.
I don't like him, but
I went. I done Yumeko, Light, then Edward, and I hope my maths is on. I think Yumeko wins.
woo! This is so weird considering that all 3 of us haven't watched.
Haven't seen it. I know, right? So I feel like
I've seen
You guys should
you've
watch
seen
it. It's bananas. It's good.
I feel like
It's
now I've
really
got to
good.
watch it. We might have beef though
Yeah.
if I don't agree.
Yeah.
Definitely got like a weird factor of about an 8. Like its weird factor is right there.
Yeah,
not
it's
the
very
weirdest thing you
weird.
ever watched, but it's weird, and I
It's
love
weird. Yeah.
I'm about to
It's
start
very
reading
weird
JoJo, so-
anime. I love the intro, the music. So yeah, that
Nice,
too.
nice. All right, so we have decided Yumeko is the best anime protagonist,
Yes. Thank you.
and Kirito is the worst.
He is.
Agreed.
Yes. No arguments there.
Yeah, no arguments there. So I think that is an episode, guys.
Yeah.
Before we go, what have you guys been up to?
Shall we-
Ram.
I have been playing Breath of the Wild as usual. I now
As
have
usual.
all 4 divine beasts. So I'm just gonna procrastinate until I have to go to Hyrule Castle because I don't want to, because I'm scared of God. I'm not even scared of like fighting Calamity Ganon. I'm just scared of Guardians, and I don't want to go through Central Hyrule. So yeah. And then what else have I been doing? I finally have all of the Promised Neverland now. Well, I'm up to date, which is exciting. So I'm gonna reread that.
Wipe away the tears.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I've been watching the usual Jujutsu, Attack on Titan, and I think that's everything. Yeah.
Pass.
I am still playing Kingdoms of Amalur, the remaster. Really good. It's just not ending, and it's frustrating me because I'm like, there's so many other games I'm trying to play, and I don't want to keep playing this for like another 100 hours. Watching Jujutsu Kaisen, all that kind of stuff. Reading a few things. We're reading a Brandon Sanderson book at the moment. The new one of his Stormlight Archive. My favorite fantasy series at the moment, the Stormlight Archive. So good. Waiting for the new Mario and playing Apex. That's about it.
Nice. Regina, what have you been up to lately?
I'm lame. I am not playing any games right now. I just got put on to like the Yandere Simulator game, and I want to download it like tonight. Like it looks so cool. I want to just like kill people and get rid of my rival.
Is bananas. It's bananas.
Yeah. When I saw the YouTube about it, I was like, this game is for me. Like I want to do.
Wait.
Why I like Yumiko. No, but anywho, let's see. I am working on creating my own anime series, and it'll be featured on the Anime While Black podcast. I'll send you guys a sneak peek of the character design, but it's based on the logo character. Her name is Rain, and so it's like this whole. I don't want to say too much because data miners, but it's based on a post-apocalyptic world.
Okay, I'm in.
I look forward to it. It's nice.
Yeah, I think you guys will like it. So, yeah.
It's good. As for myself, I failed to get a 3070 graphics card today. I just thought I'd share my woes with everyone.
Dude, take a air hug.
It was in my basket. Okay. It was in my basket. I checked out nationwide, declined the transaction because it was a big purchase, so I had to call them. Obviously, by the time I called them, I already knew that they were sold out. Yeah. Just thought I'm just sharing my words with everyone. Yeah, like but I've started playing Octopath. All death's been me all day. But I've started playing Octopath Traveler. Yes, another JRPG. Why I do this to myself, I don't know.
I actually wanted to play that.
I think you might enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I've started collecting and reading World Trigger because season 2's dropped this season, and everyone's talking about Kaizen and Titan, but I remember watching World Trigger like years ago, and I really liked it, but I can't really remember it, so I'm reading it from issue 1. Talking about interesting protagonists, the main guy Osamu, he's fucking useless, but it's very interesting because he's kind of like he's not able-bodied. Now he's partnered with this really cool guy. I don't know if you've read or watched World Trigger, but
I've read about until like midway through what's going to be season 2. I haven't.
Okay, yeah. So you're aware of like the Osamu Yuma dynamic, and I always find how rubbish Osamu is very interesting because he tries, but it's like he's
doing his best.
Yeah, but it doesn't work for him though. The power of friendship does not work for Osamu. He has to actually be cunning and love it. But yeah, I've started that, and also my first JoJo's come now. Yeah, part 1, volume 1. So yeah, I'm about to get weird.
I shall be borrowing that once you finish it.
And that's me.
Yeah.
So the socials, guys. Ram, please.
It's always me. Okay.
You don't want me to do it.
We are the Nerd Alternative on Instagram, the Nerd Alternative without an E after the N on Twitter, and also on Reddit. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Anchor. You can find us in Laser.
Anchor. Go on Anchor.
You can find us everywhere.
Yeah, we are watching you. We're not watching you. I don't
We
have
send
time to
cassette tapes as well.
watch.
We'll send you DVDs of the episodes. Sure.
And Regina, do you want to do your socials as well?
Yes.
I want you to do them for me.
Oh my God, I didn't want to do it.
I'm kidding, because he made you do the socials. You guys can find me on at Anime While Black on Instagram. I'm currently building my website, like literally today, in addition to other things. I should get a Twitter, right? I think
Yeah, I think we
you
should get
probably
it.
should,
yeah. So that'll be the next thing. But yeah, just follow me on Instagram. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify. We're also on iHeartRadio. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Google is your friend, guys. Google is your friend.
Yes.
That's what you would say. But yes, until next episode, hopefully. Oh, and thank you for joining us, Regina.
Thank you for
bro.
having me.
We will
Thank
be
you.
on one of your episodes, and hopefully you will
Yes,
come
for
back
sure.
sometime soon.
Yes.
I'm gonna defend Edward. That's my only goal. That's my.
Oh, we're gonna
that's
get
my
into
character.
it.
I'm gonna get
That's
all the
my
popcorn
character.
and get tea. God, I look forward to it. But yes, until next time, guys.